Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Stories to Sales podcast. And now, today we have a special guest. We have none other than Jason A. Jones, aka Mr. Make It Happen. Now, Jason is the founder of Positive Pieces LLC and the author of Three the Hard Way. Now, I've known Jason over the years. We met at an event on and off through social media. But guys, this year, what Jason's doing, using his life story, his mission, what he's been through. If you hear his story today, you'll know that anything is truly possible. And overall, he's just a fun person to talk to be around. And yeah, Jason, would love for you to introduce yourself. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Jason A. Jones. I'm from Jersey, and yeah, it's good to be here and talk to everyone today. I'm all about making it happen, so let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's make it happen. And guys, Jason is the type of person, he'll go to an event. He doesn't need to know anyone there, but by the time he leaves the event, Jason's going to walk away with 20 connections. And that already tells you about the type of person he is, his energy. And I've known Jason since I think 2020 we met at an event, right, Jason?
Yes, yes, yes.
And a random event that probably none of us really thought we were going to be at that day. I was at a business accelerator, Jason, that one day he was at the same venue. And, Jason, your story, you guys have to hear his story. Your story, when I read the book you wrote, Three the Hard Way, I was just I couldn't believe what you went through in your life and where you are today. Even me knowing you from online a little bit, I didn't know you were born with three fingers
hmm
in one hand. I didn't know you went through a traumatic life accident near Thanksgiving a few years ago. I didn't know you went through there was some your childhood that you basically you had to be step up and be the man of the family in so many ways. Your story is just wow. So Jason, growing up, let's begin with your life story. I know today you own Positive Pieces LLC. You're trying
hmm
to raise positivity. You're a speaker. You go out. You have had so many hundreds of books already sold because the message is so inspiring. So tell me about your life, Jason. Let's start. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, thanks for having me on your show today. I'm all about encouragement, and I've always been encouraging others and being encouraged throughout my life. I was born with three fingers, as you guys can see, and I write about that in my book, Three the Hard Way: Overcoming Obstacles and Making It Happen. And in life, we're all gonna come with obstacles that um, come in our way, and we just have to fight through them and not give up. As a kid, I grew up, you know, meeting people and them getting to experience me with three fingers because a lot of kids didn't have people, around that had three fingers. So I was like the first of many people that they encountered in their lives. So I had to adjust to that and make sure, you know, I was felt, I was a kid and make sure that they were able to, communicate with me and play with me and be nice. And so I came with a lot of teasing and funny, teasing and a lot of people, you know, talk down to me, but I had a group of friends that also stood up for me and were genuine people, and to this day I still are friends with them. So community is important, and that helped me grow. Every piece of the puzzle, positive pieces, every piece is helps you along your way. So to build that puzzle, so
I love that. And Jason, one quote your parents really told you growing up was if you could there's that quote that you have said a couple of times where it's if you can't do it with one hand, you could do it with the other, right? What was
yeah.
the quote? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. My family, my mother and father taught me like, hey, if you can't do it with this hand, do it with the other. Try it with the other. So don't give up and don't count yourself out. I played soccer and tennis and basketball, and I learned how to dribble or bat with another different hand, or even write or type. I did play trombone. Just do many different tasks without having an excuse of why I couldn't do it. So that was very important in my life, for the encouragement and you know, being able to do things without leaning on a crutch.
I love that because do you think like that mindset, like what your parents instilled in you, what your mom instilled in you, um, because no one treated you differently, you kind of grew up in the world where it's like, hey, I can honestly, I could do anything. And to be honest, like I know like you have a disability with your fingers, but like, hey, there's some people who can't even walk, and there's people with all types of things. And more of the story is I really like admire like that mindset you have because if we feel like we're any different because of something we've lost and we consider ourselves a victim, I think it impacts what we could do. So, do you feel like that mindset your mom and your parents like really instilled in you helped you throughout later in your life?
Oh yes, for sure. You're always going to come against things. So if you believe in yourself and have a positive attitude, I believe you can achieve anything you want to. I believe that you know you're always going to have naysayers, but that fueled me, and that should fuel anybody to. All right, you know what? They can't go through the front door. There's a back door. There's a side window. There's another way to get into where what you want to do and where you want to go. And I've took that advice and from my mother and father and like used that in everyday life. You know, from small things to large things.
I love that. And I see it like I read his book, guys. You have to get three the hard way. Like, I'm going to link it in this episode. I wish, I mean, it was just right in this room somewhere. And I'm like, I wish I was holding it. But
Have
that,
it right here.
yeah, I love it. There you go. Okay. Guys, that's it. It's on Amazon. I don't care if you're like, if you're a doctor, if you're retired, if you're about to go to college, you're in high school, you're just like us, you're entrepreneurs, like no matter who you are, you read this book and if you hear what Jason has gone through, you're going to be like, he was able to conquer every obstacle, even ones he didn't see coming. Because, Jason, you said that in your book, before we go over the job things about like the opportunities where, like people were just kind of said some really mean things. But like, if we go into that Thanksgiving day, there was a day many years back, something unfortunate happened. If you could describe that day.
Yes. Many years ago, almost 20 years ago, I got in a car accident two, uh, two, uh, 2 blocks from my house, and as well as 2 days before Thanksgiving, was lady ran a red light and hit my car, and my car spun twice and hit a brick wall and a tree, and I was out of it. I had to took me 8 months to recover and like learn cognitive skills and to able to move my limbs and I was had 11 stitches in my eyelid, so it was a very traumatic experience in learning how to learn again, learning how to be around people, to even to get in a car again, to get on a bus again, just like to trust. So that was very a very um, interesting experience, and slowly you recover and build back up, and a lot of things get better over time, and that's like you have to have perseverance and resilience, and like just that motivation. Like you're not gonna have that motivation every day, but take one day at a time or 1 minute at a time and just keep pushing forward and rest and patience, and that's what got me through that ordeal. And I lost a lot of stuff, jobs and money and opportunities, and so it was mentally draining as well, and just but that was a good sign to you know stop and just go with the flow and relax and just like use this as a stepping stone and not a drowning point, because you can get caught up in the present and like drown and then can't get back out the quicksand. So yeah.
How many people listening to this can relate? I think so many of us, well, no, I mean, I don't know how many people can relate to that because what you conquered is like super brave. So close to Thanksgiving, unexpected traumatic accident. It's not only about the physical stuff, right? Like the hurt and, the stitches. It's not only about the physical, it's about like rebuilding your life after. I think like so many people look at a newspaper, they see an accident or something happens to someone, they don't realize like the courage it takes to rebuild your life after. Like you were going places in your career, and guys, there's a silver lining to the story right after. There's a lesson in here. Um, the num you had said, and this is new to me too, like what you're talking about, like the trust in people. Some lady, someone was just being dumb that one day, and you were, you got hurt, and then it's that inability to trust people you're dealing with, and just the days that went by. But what I love is the silver lining in your story if you read the book. Jason has been like a fan of the music industry. He knows his stuff in and out. He's been on so many different roles. He has this like almost like 2 decade plus career in this industry, and in a wonderful turn of events, it's like after your accident, you were getting like a gig here, a gig there. Like you were doing a couple of gigs, but it wasn't denial. It was just the universe was like, Jason, slow down, focus on your healing. We got this. Can you describe what happened after?
Yes. So in the process of recovering, I couldn't. I lost like contact with industry professionals, and I had to start from scratch. So I had to start with part time work to take anything just to get income coming in, and that was a struggle that I didn't wasn't aware of because I wasn't ready to go back to work full time, and so that was like a very like challenging moment. Like I work at 9 a.m. and at 12 I was like exhausted. So it took me time to build to be able to work a full day again after 8 months out of work, recovering. So and then with cognitive and learning. So I was the first job I had was through a temp agency, put putting mail together, and that was like yeah, you think, oh man, my life is over. Like I graduated college, and now I'm putting mail in envelopes and putting stamps on. Like that's kind of depressing. But I kept pushing through and kept my eyes open for the next opportunity. But that was a building point for me to get back to a full time job, and I didn't realize that. And so after that, I went and got a full time job at an insurance company, and that was a full time, and that was not what I went to school for, but it enabled me to gain more communication and more task building, and just building my confidence up. And that job was a great job, and but I had graduated from the part time job and not being tired, and so eventually um, I've met people and got was able to conversate with people and like have a different experience. And from there, I reached out to some of my friends, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, are you still at this job?" And they weren't aware of the accident. And I told them like, "Yeah, I'm still looking." And like, so your network is important. So I met up with them, and I was back into the entertainment industry within like 3 to 6 months. So that was good. Good experience from to pick yourself back up and push forward.
What type of person were you before the accident and
Oh
then
man.
after the accident?
I was very outgoing. I love people. I love to party. Like, I love dancing. I love music. Anything music I'm into. But I had to take a step back, and like uh, learn myself again to like, all right, this is what I can do. This is what I can't do as far as learning and just like cognitive, like putting steps in order and remembering like sequences and numbers again. I had to learn that over again. So now, what's crazy is 360 is now I remember numbers back to when before the accident. So like I've recovered over time. It takes time, and sometimes I have my ups and downs where I forget, but that's normal. That's being human. So like that taught me that we're all humans, and that nobody's perfect, and we're gonna make mistakes, and like don't let the mistake make you. There's always the next level.
Do you think your level of, like, honestly, as a child, with your disability, you never let that bother you. You still did what you have to. You accomplished all your milestones. When this accident happened, even after that, you were like, this isn't what I went to college for. But I noticed you told me something. Did you get the paralegal education, like the legal education after the accident, or?
Yes. So I after the job I was talking about, I got back into the entertainment industry, and over about 5 years later, I got laid off, and that was very challenging and discouraging. And so, I could have just sat and, let's just collect unemployment and figure things out. But instead, I went, I thought about what I liked in my job and what I wanted to learn more about. And so I was like, yeah, let's go and get my paralegal certificate. And I went into that role and to learn more about learning agreements and the terms and the language. And I learned not only about intellectual property and television, but I learned about real estate planning, business, uh, family law, and that gave me a more well-rounded um, idea and thought of life in general. So like that helped me. That setback helped me set up to overcome challenges and build me. So like that was a great instance where you can't foresee how that is going to make uh, a positive impact on you at the time, and later on in life you're like, wow, you know what, this step helped me that I didn't realize was going to help me. So that was good.
And it it was kind of serendipitous that I think you said the lawyers that you got into contact with during your accident ended up when it was time somehow to like get that, legal certification, the paralegal certification. They were actually the ones who were like, we're going to recommend you, like we're going to, and you probably never knew. One, I'm sorry, like it wasn't your fault you got into an accident. Two, you didn't know that the dots would connect at one point. You would get this other education, and then now in your current role, like are all these steps you've taken, like with your education, it's just made you a stronger candidate, and like does it come into handy in your day to day and like everything? Yeah.
Yes. I believe strongly that your network is your net worth, and you never know who's going to be able to help you to get to the next level. That lawyer that helped me, get my claim for the accident was also able to help me get a discount for the schooling. And they're actually a long family friend from the past. My aunts went to school with the lawyer, so it's like generational help, like that. Hey, it's all everything's connected, whether you think about it or not. So that all of that helps in the long
I
run.
love I love that. Guys, serendipity is real. Like miracles happen. If random accidents can happen in our lives, on the flip side, miracles can happen too. It's like we don't see any of this coming. And I think Jason's story is such a message of hope. Like now, with everything he's been through, and all these moments that, like any kid growing up could have been like, I have something different than these other kids. Oh man. But Jason was still playing sports. He was still going out and everything. And I think it's such a testament to how you were raised too many years ago, like with your mom. And in the book, what we're talking about here is only 5% of what's in Jason's book. So you have to get the book. Um, and you had said something super inspiring that I think can relate to a lot of entrepreneurs listening to this. There is a line in your book because I have to be honest with you, like I started my business 6 years ago, but so many things have changed. And we need to change, evolve to things that excite us, hence this podcast as well. But you had this line in your book, and it was like if something is all consuming or something like you had this line that if something is super consuming or it takes away the joy of different parts of your life, you have to reevaluate that. Can you describe what you meant by that one line?
Yes. Yeah. It's life is all about energy. If it doesn't, if it's not the positive energy that you need, you have to subtract it. It's not helping you grow. It's not helping you go in the direction for your purpose. A lot of that comes into your work, but also comes into balance. In you living. You have to feel this energy. You have to get that positive energy
Yeah.
to balance the negative or anything. Like that helps all aspects of life: spiritual, mental, physical, all of that. If it's not a plus, it's a subtraction. And a lot of times we fail to we see it, but we fail to like take
Action.
action on it. Yes.
That one line echoed in me so much because I think that's something so many people go through in their business career, in their like whatever career you have, especially. It's you have to know when to make these shifts. And so if you're listening, I don't care if, like I said, you're a doctor, because I know Jason, I brought up the word doctor because you had told me at some events, you had like doctors even come up to you who are like, you know, I'm going to be honest. In society, we look up to doctors, they take care of us, but all these professionals were coming to you saying your book inspired them. The people who seem to have like perfect lives, you never know. Everyone needs inspiration. So if you're going through something that you may not be showing outwardly, you have to get Jason's book. It struck a chord with me because I think, as you know, I had like lost my mom 2 years ago. And even in your book, you had some paragraphs in there that are like, listen, if you've lost a loved one, you may have went through this, you may have went through that. The human experience, you can still get back on your feet. And so I know this is the Stories to Sales podcast, but when I think of stories to sales, I honestly think of how we can use our stories and create more purpose. And so, Jason, one of your goals this year is like you wrote your book, you're promoting it, you have a newsletter as well, and you give people all this inspiration. But now you're looking to speak. So, can you describe, like, with your story, how you're looking to make an impact in like schools, different community stages?
Yes. I believe each and every one of us has a story to tell. So don't discount yourself thinking nobody's going to listen, or everybody's going through something at one point in time in their life, whether it's temporary or physical. That's just like a disability. That's one thing about disability. We all are going to be disabled at some point in life, whether we twist an ankle or we have a mental a neurodivergent issue. Dementia or like anything like disabled is not like a crime. Like it's going to happen to all of us at some point in time in age. And to answer your question, my goal is to help, to encourage, to inspire, to educate anybody that'll listen. Kids, elderly, people that need encouragement, upliftment, people that want to write a book. I've had people come to me like, "Oh yeah, you know what? You've encouraged me to write a book now because you did it." So like family members and friends and other people, that strangers, just pushing them to the next level. Like, hey, I can do it too. And I have less. Didn't go through as much as I did, but hey, you can do it too. Like, no excuses. Make it happen.
Mr. Make It Happen.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. The amount of people that say they want to do something, then the amount of people that actually do it. And listen, I know we go on social media and it seems like people become millionaires overnight, but the smallest even act of just following through with what you're going to say, it like shifts gears in our mind. Like you literally, like I've known you for a couple of years off and on, like meaning on social media, but we met in person. But I think I remember you mentioning your book like a year or two ago. But you did it. You did it. I bought it. I read it, and I was like, wow. And so if you want to write a book, you could also connect with Jason. But I really encourage you to follow his newsletter. I really encourage you to follow his socials. If you have a community or membership of your own where you need an inspiring guest speaker, Jason is your person. And so, Jason, like, what's like next though? And when it comes to like positive pieces, like, what's your vision? You've been through it all. You've grown up. You had a disability, which honestly isn't even obvious when you see Jason. Like, no one can even tell. You went through a traumatic accident. You went through highs and lows in your career that a lot of people do, but not that many people talk about. You growing up, I think, not to be super sensitive, but, you spent a lot of time with your mom and that side of the family, and you had to grow up pretty fast too.
Hmm.
So, all of these life experiences, what does the next phase of your life now look like? Like, what's the dream here?
Yes, my goal is to encourage. I want to take my book, which is available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles and my website, mrjasonajones.com. I also want to. I have a motivational coloring book that I want to help people out with. I've sent it to a lot of schools with autism and like kindergarten classes in schools. And my main goal is to go and speak to people at universities, kids, people that need that a little bit of push encouragement, and go on the road and just talk to people and tell them my story and give uplift them. In January, I plan to. I actually got accepted to speak at a college
Whew.
to some students, so that's amazing. And that's just I just want to get better at public speaking, and then just go on the road and like just encourage anybody who's willing to listen, um, because one little piece can take them anybody a long way. So yes, that's
I
my
love
goal.
that.
So
TEDx. Yeah.
it's crazy you said that. Like I think just a lot of times we have to get out of our heads, not only say the positive, but put it on paper. And once you put something on paper, it comes into action. And that's what I want to make. I want to encourage, not only encourage people, but show them like this. You can do this too, and this is what I did.
I love it. Like, you almost describe like manifestation, but it's kind of like the action behind manifestation. Like, yeah, get clear, write it down, commit to it, follow through, and it'll happen. Okay, now we're talking about like music industry and everything. So I know you have positive pieces. I know you're building your community. You're speaking. Like, you have a lot going on. This book will probably change your life. And I'm not just saying it to say it because I know Jason, but I read the book and I was like, wow, I never thought of it that way. I was asking myself questions. So when it comes to the music industry, like you have a lot of stuff going on. Is this an industry you still want to be a part of for the next like 20 years?
Yeah, that's TBD. I'm currently out of the music industry. I'm more in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
Um, I've I'm now in image and footage clearances, but my expertise is licensing. So I do like the licensing aspect of things. I still dibble and dabble with the music because that's my passion. I love music, so I do what I'm in the works of creating a track and putting
Ooh.
it and creating a community on YouTube, and that'll be my theme song. So I'm in the works of that as well. So yeah, I'm busy. I'm like all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I believe in synchronicity, but I also believe in like timing. So like when something doesn't work out, like it's not supposed to work out. Like a lot of things you can't force,
Right.
and you have to be in the right arenas and around the right people to like make these things happen. So I don't really force a lot of things, but some things you do have to force. So sometimes you have to force yourself to get yourself across the finish line. But so I'm in a place now where um, the environment is changing and like the control of what I can control. Some things I control what I control, but like the entertainment industry is changing now, and so I'm learning to adjust and adapt accordingly. So I'm in the process. I've already started with the coloring book, and I'm learning AI. So I'm starting to learn more AI because I believe that we have to learn some of that, or we're gonna be left behind. Like you
Yeah.
have to know it. Just
Yeah.
like we people put up fronts about debit cards. No, nobody wanted to use debit cards.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to use a check, and now
Yeah.
everything's auto. So
Yeah.
some people now people don't accept everything's cashless almost. So we have to adapt with our environments and make it work for us.
I love it. Like, and I think your story is like the amount of times you've had to adapt to. It's like this is just life. Like, like we're in an AI era. We have to like upskill. Um, to be honest, you should have probably upskilled a little bit by now, like at least. And every industry we know is changing, but again, it's the mindset, it's the positivity, it's the I think, at least when I look at a person like you, and as we all reflect on our stories, it's like, if we could adapt through everything we've been through in the past, it's just proof of what we can continue to adapt, moving forward, no matter where the world is. So I really, really appreciate that. Jason, if you had like one piece of advice to leave to listeners today, what would it be?
Make it
Not to
happen.
put you on the spot. Yeah, no, say it. Say it. Yeah.
Yeah, make it happen. Don't count yourself out. I know a lot of self discouragement is done. Like have stay around a positive, have a positive team around you. Um, rest. I need to rest.
He's been up since 5 a.m. today. Yeah.
And yesterday too. So rest is everything's about balance. You don't have to finish everything overnight. Give yourself grace and empathy, and others grace and empathy too. I don't be patient. Things aren't gonna go your way all the time, but if you don't try, they will always go that way. So, you know, do your best to do your best all the time, but you know, give yourself grace and empathy to just soak in everything and stay positive throughout it all because there's gonna be hard times. Like you got to be realistic, and nothing's gold all the time. So yeah.
One thing, I know I was like wrapping this up with your advice, but now I have another quick question is one thing I like about how you approached your life is when you were in high school, you had an emphasis on community. Like in your path to college, you were just like, I want to be around people who are going to make me go higher and everything. And you joined like a gentleman's club and
Yes.
you were also involved in a brotherhood, which to this day, I think you're still connected to some of those folks.
Yes.
And one thing I think you do really well is um, at least from what I know, is wherever you go, you can create community. Like, and I think so many people in the world we live in, that's something people crave. Like, community equals opportunities, equals success. And so, what's your advice for people who, not everyone has like a community? Like, you kind of have to take the step to build your own community. So, what's your take there?
Yes. I believe in your network is your net worth. I believe that everybody you meet, everybody you meet can help you out in some form or capacity in life, not now or later. Just they may have a piece of advice or a word or just a word of encouragement or like something they went through that you can avoid or just this is better than that. Like just don't you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just make the wheel better by people that you meet. I've always been around community. I love people. I love talking to people, meeting them, getting their perspective on life advice because we all come from different backgrounds, different ages, different, places of the world. So I believe that it's good to understand people to where they're coming from, and just soak some of that knowledge up because learning is a key to life, and you have to learn every day, and unlearn and relearn, and just keep learning. That's the main. Life is all about keep learning because that keeps you young, that keeps you informed, that keeps you ahead of the game. Sometimes just keep learning learn about different cultures, different foods, different aspects of life, different colleges, different. Just keep learning, but you learn by people, which is free. And I think that social media has taken away a lot of that because we're more self-absorbed with social media. But I like to meet. It's funny you say that. Dejan just wrote a book about meeting one or two
Yeah,
people.
2 people a day. Yeah, it's
Um,
sent to my house. I have to get it. Yeah.
Yes, it came to my house. I haven't read it yet, but I firmly believe in that. Just saying hi to somebody and talk. I feel like that's what's missing in the world. We would understand each other more and love each other more, and that makes us a stronger society. So that we can have disagreements or disagree on disagree.
Politics, I guess, a lot of
Yes,
random things. Yeah.
yeah, disagree on things, but that doesn't mean we have to hate. So yeah, I'm a firm believer of people, man. People I don't know what I would do without people. Like, I have a part-time job that I like being around the people. Like, it's not even about the pay. It's just about the, environment with music and people and help and serving and helping. Like, I really enjoy that, and I would do that for free if I could. So that's
That's when if that's often when like you're in the right place for whatever reason. Because if you do it without getting, like, you would get paid, but it's like if you do it and you still find joy in it, like that's such a lot.
purpose.
I love that. I love what you said because it is true. It's like through social media, we're all so connected. I can send you a message, like at least, before our podcast, it was like, hey, this is the link. And you think we're all so connected, but at the same time,
it's not like the human connection, like in person.
It's okay. Social media it's honestly it's a performance. It can be fake.
Yes.
That's why I like podcasting, because it's like, all right, like we're just talking. And so I really like what you said. So guys, this episode with Jason A. Jones, Mr. Make It Happen, tune in, share it with family, friends. I'm going to link his book in the bottom. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, what career you are, if you have no career right now. Because we all go through phases of life, and it doesn't even define you if you don't have what social media is saying you're supposed to have. You're in your own race. If Jason can go through everything he did in his life and now impact hundreds of people with his book, so can you. And I'm going to link Jason's socials too, because he has a lot of great stuff coming out. But Jason, like, it's always great talking to you. I've enjoyed working with you too. And we're going to see you on TEDx stages next, without a doubt.
Oh yeah, thank you. Put it in the atmosphere. Yes, I love
Yeah.
it.
All right,
Make it
guys.
happen.
Mr. Make It Happen. So next week, we have another special guest. Until next time, this is the Stories to Sales podcast. See you soon. Bye.